is it possible to run out of uranium in making electricity with nuclear energy? And so you could say technically it has to be yes. If you're going to go to that extreme, then technically the sun is going to run out at some point, right? Technically, it's limited. Same with fusion from the ocean. It is limited. So yeah, in that sense, it is limited. But the actual answer is kind of like saying we need to stop using electronics because there's a limited amount of tin. And if we keep making electronics, eventually we'll run out of tin. The fallacy there is that we don't use so much tin that we're going to run out. Tin is rather abundant, and we can find better ways to mine it and to be more resourceful with it. And so it's not a limiting factor in terms of making electronics. And why that's a good analogy for that question is that uranium is more abundant than tin in the earth, and thorium is 3 times more abundant than that. And so when the sun runs out of its normal cycle of energy and becomes a red giant in 5 billion years, we'll have only lost half of the uranium that's in the earth. Its half-life is 4.5 billion years. And when the sun finally peters out and turns into nothing in maybe another 10 billion years, we will still not have lost half of the thorium that we have in the earth. There'll still be more than half of that around. So in a sense, they're more renewable than anything else that's out there. They're going to last longer. The majority of the heat that comes from the earth in geothermal comes from the radioactive decay of these primordials and potassium. And so it's not correct to say that we'll run out in a traditional sense. What actually happens when people make these kinds of arguments is that they say, well, if we don't ever develop new technology and we only have the uranium reserves that we know now, and we'll only allow the price point that we have, then yes, that is limited. But I could say that about any mineral that's out there. Literally, any mineral falls under that category. But we know, for example, with oil, if it's something that you need for energy, you're going to develop technology to do it more efficiently. You're going to find surveying techniques to find it more efficiently, so you can figure out where you have reserves, and you'll be able to do that more efficiently. And so it would be a drastic fallacy to say that we're going to run out or that it's limited in the traditional sense, as in terms of what actually matters, it's probably the most unlimited that we have, in the sense that it's going to last longer and it's extremely efficient, and that ignores all of the benefits, for example, with capacity factor and minimum amounts of materials that are needed for mining and milling and so forth, and the minuscule amount of waste that you get for the massive amount of energy that's generated. So still a good question, but I hope that answered it. Thanks for asking. Thanks for watching. Bye.